I'm Ben with Design3, here talking to David and Ian from the University of Advancing Technologies about their game Tellus. Thanks for being here, guys.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so to give a little background, how did you guys get started playing video games, and what are some of your favorite games of all time?
I was 3 years old in preschool. It was an NES. When I was held back in preschool, I didn't have to go to nap time, so I played the NES and played Mega Man 3.
For me, it started a little bit earlier than that. Of course, I'm being a little bit older. We just had everything from a Pong machine to an Atari back then, and ever since I was about 3 or 4, I started doing that, and if anything had a blinking light or a button, I just had to be a part of it. And yeah, I've been playing games ever since.
That's great. So how did you guys first get started in video game development?
Well, I started developing video games for the first time when I got into school back in 2008. But I've been developing games, like board games and card games, ever since I was a kid. I really like to design systems.
For me, I started out a long time ago actually like designing things. It's like back in grade school when everything was programming. They didn't have really designers or everything. I didn't understand how it all worked. And I realized over time that it's like, oh, maybe I won't have the skills for this. So I stopped for a long time. And then I realized, why am I not following my dreams? So I just kind of like went for it. So I started going to school and actually just started to kind of just jump in head first. I've always been kind of a creative person, and this was just like a really likely avenue to do it. So once I got into it, it's been an awesome experience so far.
Cool. Can you tell us about the current game project you guys are working on?
Currently, we're working on Tellus, which is a student project at the University of Advancing Technology that I made the original concept about 2 years ago in a Game 101 class, and we entered the Save the Earth game contest hosted by the IEEE, and it was to just make a concept, set it into them. The judging took a little while, but last summer they called me and said, "You won. Would you like to participate in the second part of the contest?" So I said, "Sure." So I told my professor who taught that Game 101 class, and he was like, "Oh, that's awesome!" Grabbed a bunch of students, grabbed David over here, and we just started going. And it's a serious game. You have to use real-world Earth data to try and make correct decisions to make the Earth a better place.
So to elaborate a little bit more on the Earth observation data, it's actually real information that's available to scientists that they're using right now to actually solve Earth's real problems. So we tried as much as possible not to just go into the game and say, oh, let's give it a value of 5 here and just make arbitrary numbers. It's all based on either population data, climate, and other statistical or economic factors. So there's a lot of research that went into it, but we also just had to make it somewhat fun too. So there's a little bit of ad-libbing on there, but it was just a lot of research and just mechanics of things that we thought might actually be fun within the game. It's actually out on the internet right now as our alpha preview, and we've got some good feedback from that. Actually, international feedback from all over the world. A lot of people from Europe right now are really kind of digging it, so we're happy with that.
Yeah, that's great. Can you talk a little bit about the software you guys use when you're making the game?
We're creating it in Unity. Mainly, I like it for the ease of importing assets and the collaborative ability to work collaboratively from separate locations with our students, distant students who are online, and alumni who are living way off other parts of the country, or just if you all want to work on the game at the same time and then bring it all together. Unity allows for that, along with third-party software we use with SVN.
Yeah, that was really what allowed us to contribute, or rather continue development from across all these different places, is using the subversion. Being able to actually have assets changed from any location and not overriding each other's features. So that's really been an awesome feature of Unity. And just being able to kind of easily jump in and out of it and import just about anything.
So you mentioned that Tellus is being developed on the Unity game engine. Can you kind of tell us about your experience working with Unity and how it's gone for you?
I've really enjoyed it. There's a lot of tutorials out there. I used game Design3. Their tutorials are really helpful. There's a lot of general ones on the website itself, and I used UDK prior to that, and so coming over, I thought it would be more difficult switching over to Unity, but I got used to it pretty quick after a couple of tutorials.
Yeah, I also had a similar experience. I started off with a book tutorial originally just to learn it myself. I eventually went on to Design3 and actually took several of their tutorials. And it helped me a lot more because I'm project manager, so I have to understand, the art side, design, and code, and at least be able to look at it and understand how it's going to work in the system. So for me, it's a little more of an involved process. I have bought a Unity Pro license myself, so we can further development and use advanced features. It's just been a really cool tool, and it's actually something that's really neat because the Unity community itself, as well as the developers, are really vested in empowering the people who use it. So it's really been just something great. You can always get feedback, you can always go to the forums, and you can get real answers to the problems that you are facing because someone else has had that problem too.
So what advice would you give to people or students who just want to get started making video games themselves?
Don't wait. Start making games right away. Doesn't matter if it's the little card game you scrawled on index cards, or if you actually download RPG Maker and start making stuff with pre-built assets. Just get used to making things a lot.
Yeah, write it down, prototype it, do something. You just have to, once you start, if you can actually realize you make that one little bit of progress where, hey, my guy can actually jump now. It's just like, cool, I can actually do this. So get out there and just do something. It doesn't matter what program you use. You're not going to create this, game on a $40 million budget. Not yet. It's just get out there and create something. Even if it only impresses you and your mom, it's something you made, and it's something that's, it's cool, something you did.
So we've been asking everybody kind of this fun little last question. If you had to describe, video game design and development in just one word, what would that one word be?
Persistence. Keep at it. Don't stop.
One word. And I'm hungry right now, so I'm thinking about all-consuming, but that's 2 words. Game design in one word. I would say rewarding, because it's a creative process from the start to the beginning. So even if you just put down that original idea, that's a start. You've actually started something. So that's just, it's just one reward right there.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. It's been great talking to you about Tellus, and we look forward to playing it.
Thank you so much.